I'm going to talk you through over the next few minutes the various courses that we have available at Newman in counselling, in psychotherapy, and in the related area of counselling studies. So if you're not sure at this moment what course you want to do, you're aware of several perhaps that you might be interested in, this presentation will give you a good overview of the variety of courses that we have available. And then after watching this presentation, you may want to go on to watch one or more of our more specific presentations that we have for you on the separate courses that gives you more detail about each one. So what courses do we offer? Well, our programmes fall into several main areas. Firstly, we offer undergraduate degrees in counselling studies, either on its own or in combination with another subject. We offer professional training programmes in counselling and psychotherapy. And we also have several short courses and continuing professional development programmes. And finally, we have the possibility of undertaking a research degree in counselling and psychotherapy at master's or doctorate level. So this slightly complicated looking slide, this provides an overview of our main programmes and how they fit together really. So just to talk you through this a little bit, you'll see that we have what we might call a pre-entry course, the introductory certificate in counselling, and that's really for people who are wanting to train as a counsellor or psychotherapist. So as you can see on this top line here, it's shown as directly feeding into the foundation degree, which is 3 years part-time professional qualification in counselling, after which you can take a top-up programme in counselling to get a full BA Hons degree. If you're not sure you want to be a professional counsellor at this point, but want an undergraduate degree that has a counselling flavour, if you like, without being a professional qualification, we have several degree programmes for you to take, and you can see those in the middle part of this chart: counselling studies and working with children, young people and families, counselling, mental health and wellbeing, or psychology and counselling studies. Then at postgraduate level, there are a number of options, including counselling and psychotherapy training at postgraduate level in our MSc Integrative Counselling and Psychotherapy Studies, which can be followed by the Advanced Diploma in Psychotherapy Studies for full psychotherapist status. If at postgraduate level you're more interested in research or work-based learning, then we have some options for you in the Masters in Research and Human Sciences, where you can specialise in counselling and psychotherapy pathway, or an MA in work-based learning, focusing on counselling and psychotherapy work base. And either of these programmes can be followed by PhD by research. So I'm just going to say a little bit more about each of those areas. So thinking back to our undergraduate courses first, and on this slide you'll see the various options for people who want to do a degree that has that's related to counselling, but who aren't necessarily looking for a professional qualification as a counsellor at this point. So these programmes are very much counselling related, but you don't come out of it as a qualified counsellor at the end, but they provide a really excellent basis from which to do professional training as a counsellor or psychotherapist later at postgraduate level. So these undergraduate courses include the counselling studies and working with children, young people and families, which you can do full-time or part-time. It's also available as an option starting with the foundation year. We're also planning to offer from September 2021 a new programme, a BA Hons in Counselling, Mental Health and Wellbeing, Also, we have currently available BSc Hons Psychology and Counselling Studies, which can also be done with the foundation year. And that programme in Psychology and Counselling Studies is also accredited by the British Psychological Society. Finally, we have a BA Hons Counselling Studies top-up degree, which is usually taken by people who have already have a diploma or foundation degree, either in counselling or in a related area. So those were our undergraduate degrees. But if you're sure at this point that you want to train as a counsellor or psychotherapist, we have professional training routes. One of these is our foundation degree in integrative counselling, which is 3 years part-time and is accredited by the British Association for Counselling and Psychotherapy. If you already have a first degree, then you can undertake professional training at postgraduate level, and our postgraduate route is accredited by the UK Council for Psychotherapy. And the programmes you'd undertake are the MSc Integrative Counselling and Psychotherapy Studies, and there's also the option of a further year for those wishing to work towards full UKCP registration as a psychotherapist. The further year is the Advanced Diploma in Psychotherapy Studies. So we also have several short courses and continuing professional development programmes. We have an introductory certificate in counselling, which runs at 2 points in the year, September and then late January, early February time. It's a 13-week short course. And that's an ideal introduction really to counselling skills and theories, and is an excellent basis from which to explore counselling prior to, for example, an application to the foundation degree or to the MSc Counselling and Psychotherapy Studies. We also have several new programmes coming on board, each of them subject to final validation by the university. These are the Introductory Certificate in Counselling Children and Young People and the Advanced Certificate in Counselling Children and Young People. Taken together, those two programmes provide students with a professional qualification in counselling children and young people. But it's important to note that those are available to people who already have substantial counselling experience working with adults, and that either a qualified counsellor or at a very advanced stage of their counselling training. We also intend to start the post-qualifying diploma in supervision from 2021, and this is for qualified and experienced counsellors. We also have options, as mentioned before, for those wanting to do research degrees at postgraduate level. So why study counselling and psychotherapy at Newman? Well, there's a number of reasons why we recommend Newman to you. One is the professional accreditation of our professional training programmes. So as I've mentioned, both our foundation degree in counselling and our postgraduate route in counselling and psychotherapy training are professionally accredited either by BACP at foundation degree level or UKCP at postgraduate level. Also at Newman, we provide the opportunity to progress right from being a complete beginner, knowing nothing about counselling, to a professional qualification in counselling or psychotherapy. Because we run a number of programmes and have excellent links with placement providers in the area and region, we're able to support students through relevant placements. And on our professional programmes, students have to do clinical placements, but also one of the features of our undergraduate programmes is that all students in the second year of their studies do a work placement, so that their students are gaining or are able to apply their understanding and knowledge of their learning on their degree programme to the workplace. We also we're relatively small, so we pride ourselves on having small student numbers in teaching groups compared to many other universities. We have a very committed teaching team, and in counselling terms, it's a big team as well. All experienced professionally qualified counsellors and psychotherapists. We're also research active, so our teaching is informed by the latest research. And in general terms, we have an excellent reputation, locally and regionally, for the quality of our counselling and psychotherapy education and training, both in terms of standards of our clinical practice and our academic rigour. So many people ask us, how do I become a counsellor or psychotherapist? And it can be hard to find your way through our range of programmes. So this is just to try and clarify that. So mainly there are two routes really. One would be to take our part-time foundation degree in counselling. But prior to getting on the foundation degree, you also need to have at least a level 3 certificate in counselling and relevant work experience. We also recommend to some students that they take our own introductory certificate in counselling, which is level 4, which we take as equivalent to an external level 3 certificate in counselling. Alternatively, you can take our postgraduate route via the MSc Integrative Counselling and Psychotherapy Studies and the other programmes that are associated with this route. Before you do that, you need a degree first. If you don't already have a degree but want to eventually become a psychotherapist, then you can study for one of our undergraduate degrees in counselling studies first, and that provides an ideal academic preparation prior to applying for postgraduate training in counselling or psychotherapy. So this slide just shows some of the spaces we have available on campus. Because we have a number of counselling programmes, we have bespoke spaces for students to practice their skills, which are an important part of a number of our courses. So here we have some examples of what students say about our courses. We have very high rates of student satisfaction, and that's seen in these quotes. So one of our foundation degree students said, "I'll always promote the university to potential students as I feel completely empowered since I became a student here. The university has helped me to grow and I feel like I'm learning every day." Similarly, one of our Masters in Psychotherapy students said, "The staff in the Counselling and Psychotherapy department have always been supportive and available to guide you through any complexities you may be experiencing. It's important the staff model best practice that is expected of me as a student to mirror out in the profession." If you'd like to know more about our courses, you can contact us via this email address, or by looking on our website. But also do have a look at the individual presentations which we have available to you. You can look at each of these programmes in more detail in the presentations. Here's some useful contacts if you're thinking of studying at Newman. Things you might want to know are around accommodation, admissions, student support and student finance. So please do contact these areas as well with particular queries in those areas. So thank you very much for taking the time to watch this presentation. I do hope you found it useful. Do contact us if you want further information, and do watch the other presentations we have available to you.